Ponce here in Studio 32 alongside a very special guest host, Ms. Elizabeth Matthews.
Hi,
welcome.
Bud. How you doing?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Thanks.
Happy belated Mother's Day
Thank
to
you very much.
How did you guys celebrate?
I worked, and then but I came.
You worked?
I did.
Oh,
you
that's
know.
right.
Yeah, and then I came home. No, it's fine because I came home and the hubby had a nice brunch.
Okay.
Little mimosa. Then I was
Mother's Day mimosa.
Yes, you got to have one of those. And then the kids gave me their preschool, kindergarten gifts.
Oh,
which take
so
a guess,
cute.
just like what was one?
I'm going with card.
Yes, good,
Okay.
good, safe choice.
Flowers.
No flowers on card.
Flowers on card.
Bookmark.
Bookmark.
Little kid face on it. The bookmark is so giant it won't fit in a book probably. Gonna have to read a thesaurus now. A little like solo cup filled with flowers.
Oh.
I asked the kindergartner, my oldest, what kind of flowers are they? No idea.
No idea.
Could be like a dandelion seed. Don't know. So and then I took a nap.
Can't imagine anything better. I could have used one myself yesterday, but you had to
You'll
work.
get it on
I'm sorry you had
Father's
to
Day.
work on Mother's Day.
No, that's okay.
But
We
you're
had a lot of
back
fun.
here with me, and we're going to have
Yep.
fun. We got a jam-packed hour exploring all the trending stories here in Chicago. We are all still, I don't want to say suffering from Pope fever, because
No.
it's not suffering at all. We are still basking in
enjoying
Pope Leo fever.
Frenzy.
It's a frenzy.
It is a frenzy.
Southside Pride, you could argue, despite the fact that the Sox aren't doing very well this season, that Southside Pride is at an all-time high.
I would think so, yeah.
Of this historical development. We're going to talk food, and we're also going to explore the Reddits, which is my favorite part
Your
of the
favorite.
show. I cannot
Mr.
wait
Reddit.
for you to experience.
I'm excited.
It's because the Chicago Reddit, our Chicago, the users are so spunky. Let's call them spunky.
We're informed.
Yes, they are very
Informed.
informed and very opinionated.
Well, sure.
As Chicagoans are known to be. All right, to kick things off, folks, as you can imagine, from all over are flocking to South suburban Dalton because that is where Pope Leo XIV spent his childhood.
I still can't get over it.
Isn't it so
The Pope is from
wild?
the South Side?
Doesn't it make it so much more
Yes.
relatable?
Oh my gosh! But I mean, he was on lists, right? Like as possibly,
Yes.
down. Maybe it would be, this guy. But when his name was announced, we've heard the sound from the brothers.
Yes.
They were just stunned.
And I'm wondering, how often are they going to talk to their brother? How often does one talk to the Pope?
I
when the
heard
Pope
a
is
sound
one's
bite.
brother?
I heard a little snippet from somebody local who knows the Pope, the now Pope, and he said he emailed him, "Congratulations, can you come do the commencement speech?" And the Pope responded.
No.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah, over the weekend.
Since becoming Pope, the
Yes.
Pope responded?
See how relatable? And said probably can't make the commencement speech. But see, I mean, it's a true connection. Like, don't you have money on it that we will see the Pope in Chicago?
I think so.
I
mean,
know.
every Catholic priest that I've interviewed since Pope Leo XIV was elevated to Pope, they've said yes. So I'm going with them.
I know.
I'm going with them.
It just kind of makes sense.
All right, so we got to take you guys down to Dalton. First of all, I believe we have some video queued up of crowds showing up. I don't want to say crowds yet, but people are starting to make the pilgrimage to South suburban Dalton. But Chicago, as many of us longtime Chicagoans know, our grid system makes a lot of sense, but some of our street naming conventions don't make a lot of sense. So,
and some people found out.
The hard way.
The hard
and
way.
there's one homeowner that is finding this out the hard way as well. And I'll set this up just by saying there's a big difference between living on a street and living on a place. 104th Street, 104th Place. They sound the same, but they are two very, very different locations. So there is a woman by the name of Carolyn Moore who lives right near the Pope's childhood home, but not at the Pope's childhood home.
But close.
But close.
Very close.
And people just keep on showing up at her door.
Since about 6 this morning, I got reporters like yourself coming to the door, people taking photos outside of the house, and then I have to let them know you got the wrong house. I'm thinking about putting a sign up saying go to that address, over there.
The Pope didn't live here.
Right.
At least she's got a good attitude. She's still laughing about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, you got the
She's
wrong
It's
house.
early.
You got the wrong house.
Talk to her in 6 months if
You
she's
got
still
the
laughing.
wrong house,
Yeah.
right?
So run us through kind of the confusion.
Okay, so the confusion here. So her house is 141st Street. The Pope's, there's no documentation, right? But it's, you know, through hearsay and through, you know, the Pope's house reportedly on 141st Street Place, just 1 block over. Purple door versus red door. His is a red door. Hers was the pretty purple door that Dane talked to her right outside of. So it's a classic, you know, street name chaos that was happening. So of course she's thinking about putting up a sign, and the village apparently in Dalton, they've had their run for their money with, you know, history.
Yes, indeed. Recent history has been colorful.
Good way to put it.
In Dalton.
So this is probably a good thing, right? Let's turn the corner on how we're making waves down in Dalton. The village now possibly buying the real Pope house to turn it into some sort of site. But obviously, we're going to expect that traffic to just continue, the foot traffic.
How crazy of a ride has it been for the village of Dalton in recent years?
Imagine getting the phone call, or like, wait, I'm sorry, the Pope's from here? Dalton?
After everything that happened with their mayor and their finances, you hope this is just a boon to the local economy down there as well, right?
That's true.
If they make it a a historical site, it boosts local businesses. If there's tourism down there,
people coming through, they need somewhere to stay, they need somewhere to eat.
Here's the other interesting thing that I noticed watching those clips is how similar the two houses look. Really,
They're
the only noticeable difference is the color of the door.
So
you think red? I don't know what you call the caps that the Cardinals wear, but the red. Red for the Pope. You know what I'm saying? There's a red motif for sure.
And purple for the lovely lady.
Yeah, purple for the lovely lady. So our thoughts are with Carolyn Moore. Good luck navigating this new territory. She said in her soundbite, "I kind of regret that I don't have the historical spot because obviously it was listed for sale for $199K.
Yeah.
And now obviously the home takes on." It's called a different value.
Yeah, and not to mention, what about the neighbors? All the people that live on the street.
That's right.
You know, maybe you and I need to go down there and knock on those doors.
I do want to kind of keep a regular watch on that neighborhood to see how many people are making the pilgrimage.
There are like a live camera.
There's so many different aspects of having a 2025 new pope. Like this guy's got a digital footprint for the there's tweets that he's tweeted out in the past. There are photos of him and videos of him. We're going to get to one later in the show.
Very cool.
That are just surfacing, unlike previous eras. I mean, some of these popes are in their position for decades. So.
Right. It's really remarkable, and we're only scraping the surface. Right?
Exactly.
The story is not going away anytime soon. Nor do
I want it to either. This is so great to have not only the village of Dolton in the national spotlight for such a positive reason, but Chicago as well, and all these businesses. They still have Pope Leo XIV fever. We're going to talk about Portillo's to kick things off. Elizabeth, you've had an Italian beef from Portillo's, right?
I can't count.
Wait. Actually, I remember your live shot from a couple weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
You did such a great job.
When Portillo's welcomed breakfast items to their menu.
You were out there.
Yes. I was tasting it, which is delicious. The little bowl, that's the best one. They have an Italian sausage breakfast sandwich. That's a little too much for me. But they have this little fun little bowl. With,
what was in the bowl?
Nothing Portillo's-y. No Italian beef. Sadly, maybe they should put Italian beef. But, just bacon and eggs and cheese.
Okay.
That was delicious.
So it's kind of a breakfast bowl.
But no, we're huge Portillo's fans.
Yes, we are.
Huge. And I can't tell you how many beef sandwiches in my life.
All right, so folks, get to your screen. You are looking at the Leo, okay? Unrivaled Chicago street food, Portillo's, the Leo, with the font and everything. They've got the Gothic lettering.
How is it different than the regular Italian beef?
So they're calling it, quote, a divinely seasoned Italian beef, limited time only. So we haven't tried this thing yet. Elizabeth, we may need to send you out there.
Oh, I'll go. I'll take one for the team, unless it's spicy, in which case I don't want to.
Okay, so divinely inspired. The limited time item
peppers.
reflects both the city's pride and its love for bold flavors, according to Portillo. So they're being kind of coy. They're being kind of cryptic, because to me that looks like a standard
like a regular
Portillo's Italian beef, but no.
This is somehow bolder.
Is the Leo.
Yes. I think we're definitely going to have to take a taste test.
I think so too. You know what you could do? You could do like the Pepsi challenge. You could have them give you the Leo. Then you could have them give you the standard Italian beef, and then you, with your refined palate,
Taste
can
test?
tell us the difference between the two.
Yeah, that one does look like it's got a lot of peppers.
It does.
Do you like peppers on your Italian
I
beef?
love it.
You do? Hot, spicy?
Hot or sweet. It doesn't
I'm
matter.
more
I
just a
love
sweet.
both. It's almost like choosing a favorite child, which you
Go
can't
ahead.
do.
No. It's a different show.
You've seen these papal memes crossing your
Yes.
social media feeds.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you've noticed a certain infamous Chicago beverage that has been showing its face on these memes. We're talking about Malort.
Of course, Malort. Now, confession, because we're talking about the Pope.
Yes, yeah, no, by all means.
I've never tried it.
Oh.
I've never had Malort.
Jenna, I know you've tried Malort, our producer. Thumbs up? Two thumbs down.
Not one, but 2 thumbs down. What about you?
I love it.
You do?
I was not born. Have you heard? You've heard of certain like genetic things where you either love cilantro or cilantro tastes like soap, right? Predisposition. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's apparently one about bitter. So I prefer my coffee black with no like sweeteners because I think I got the bitter loving gene. And Malort is, I believe it's made from wormwood. It's a liqueur extracted from wormwood. I could have had my facts wrong there. Jepson's Malort. It's been around for almost 100 years.
But it's bitter.
It's extremely bitter, but I don't mind it at all. Jenna, our producer, describes it. I'm reading here that it tastes like gasoline.
A ringing endorsement.
It's very generous.
Ringing.
But would I drink it again? Yes.
She says yes.
A true creature of Chicago, our Jenna. I don't even need I see a lot of people doing the requisite Malort shot and having to have a chaser afterwards. I don't even need the chaser.
Really?
Yeah.
I need a chaser for anything. I need a chaser for anything. You know the mimosa? I didn't even finish it.
You didn't finish it? Were you too tired?
I was too tired. I was like, let's move on to the nap portion. Do you blame me?
So, I think the world, though, is learning about Malort. They are learning about Malort because it's showed up in so many of these memes, along with like the old style sign, a face of Al Capone, the Bulls walk-up music. So, hopefully, Malort will get a little jolt of popularity.
I wonder if the popes had Malort.
That's a great question.
We should go to Vatican City and ask him.
We should go to Vatican City, ask him. We could maybe ask one of his brothers.
That's true. Yeah.
He'll know.
They'll know. They should know.
We get to actually coming up meet a man who's going to shed more light on the Pope. He has been spotted in videos at not Comiskey Park, Guaranteed Rate Field. I wonder if it was Comiskey Park back in 2005, but it was Game 1 of the World Series, the Chicago White Sox World Series.
And it's a real short clip.
But it's
him, everybody.
But it's him.
And you can tell. At first you're like, I don't know, and then no.
We know his face now.
Yeah.
We know his face now, and coming up right after this break, we are going to speak to Mr. Peter Fonseca of Chicago Sports Bums, who is going to be here to run us through the nuts and bolts of that game and this very serendipitous TV shot where Pope Leo XIV was seen in the flesh at Guaranteed Rate Field.
And it's been uncovered.
It's been uncovered.
For us all.
We will show you the footage right after this break.
back to Chicago Now. Elizabeth Matthews here alongside Anthony Ponce. Thanks for having me in the
Oh,
seat
it's so
today.
great to have you.
So
happy Monday.
Still all things Pope.
Yeah.
Will be Pope for a long time, but we were just talking about this very cool clip from Sox Park with the Pope in the clip. It's short.
But it's there.
It's a little grainy. It's old, but it's there.
Yes.
It's very
It is
cool.
so there.
It's kind of the no, we really know he's from Chicago moment.
And we
you
really
like,
know
this is
he's
evidence.
a Sox fan too.
Yeah, there was
we're
that
gonna,
whole
we're gonna
thing.
hash this out.
That was like a 24. So 24 hours of what's going on. Oh, so Peter Fonseca with Chicago Sports Bums is joining us this morning. It's a podcast. It's a brand devoted to White Sox, the Bears. This guy knows his stuff. So good morning, Peter. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Exciting times to be a Chicago White Sox fan, and we can't say that much.
I was just going to say, it feels good to say that, doesn't it?
Yeah, there hasn't been too much
100%.
to cheer about these last couple of seasons. Peter, will you first of all run us through, for those who weren't watching this kind of unfold in real time this past week, initially, right out of the gate, when we found out that Pope Leo XIV was from Chicago and everyone started doing this background, there was a little confusion about where his allegiances, baseball-wise, were located. So run us through kind of what happened and how this all shook out.
Yeah, so we as the Chicago Sports Bums, we say we're incessantly online. We're online all the time. And as soon as we found out that the Pope was from Chicago, the rumors were, oh, he's got to be a baseball fan. Who does he cheer for? And there were some other publications and some other news organizations, not as reputable as Fox 32 Chicago, I may say, but they definitely ran with the Pope being a Cubs fan. And I know the Cubs put it up on the marquee, and everyone was cheering that the North Side got the Pope. But slowly but surely, there was leaks and reports out there. I saw a couple tweets before even the Pope's brother got interviewed that, no, this is wrong. And then the news hit, the interview hit that he is, in fact, a Chicago White Sox fan. And like I said, we needed this type of win.
Peter, does it almost feel better that this honor was kind of given to the Cubs and then taken away from the Cubs? Doesn't it feel? It kind of feels better, doesn't it?
100%. Whenever you get the needle, the North Side a little bit, you pull the rug
Right.
out from underneath them. It felt a little good. You saw people,
Right.
pouting online. That felt good. At least to me it did.
What is this
indeed.
going to do for the season now? What do you think?
Well, I saw a lot of they won the series this weekend, so that's a good start. The White Sox called up a prospect, Tim Elko, which hit a home run yesterday. Everyone's excited. I think people are assuming a little bit of divine intervention.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hold your horses. It's still a long season. We can't be using up all the Pope magic so quickly.
Right. I've been waiting for the Sox to win a series all season, and it just felt like the timing was very serendipitous here.
Very interesting.
Now, Peter, you look like a young guy. How old were you in 2005?
I'm older than you might think. I was of drinking age in 2005.
You were in way.
I was on Halstead. I was at Puffers. Now it's Mitchell's, but it was a bar in Bridgeport. We celebrated with all of my friends the 05 World Series. One of the best days of my life.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, besides wedding and my kids.
Kid being born. Right. It's a close third.
But
all right, so while
sports-wise,
we're gonna
it was
keep
unbelievable.
talking to you, but I want to see if we could. Is it possible to pull up the clip? Okay, so we're gonna pull up this clip.
They're 2 strikes away from a win here
Game
in
one.
2005 in Game 1.
Versus the Astros.
With Jenks on the mound.
the
Right
left.
there.
And
Right
Everett
there.
at the plate.
Right there.
Yes.
That's
There's
so
a little more hair
wild.
on his head, but that was clearly
It's a little darker.
Pope Leo XIV,
A little darker
right?
hair. There he was.
Peter, the reason I asked you how old you were, I was of drinking age as well in 05. But
I was not.
we
just for
have
the
gotten
record.
the backstory
Yeah.
about because there was a still photo of now Pope Leo XIV as well at that game, and it was a little boy, his dad, and Robert Prevost.
Yeah.
Okay, in the shot. This now grown, he's 20 years old now. He was
Sure.
5. He's the one who said that his dad was good friends with him, and they went to the World Series.
That's the story behind the clip?
That's the story behind. There was I don't know if you did you
another
guys see the
picture,
still shot?
another picture,
Peter,
okay.
did you see the still shot? before we found that, the Fox coverage there. So this is okay. So a lot of times reporters like to have like three different,
sources,
like at least two or three sources to kind of corroborate. Is there any doubt in your mind, Peter Fonseca, that we are signed, sealed, and delivered that he is a Sox fan?
100%. I mean, the facts are there. The brother said it.
Yeah.
You got the clip. He's got a White Sox jersey underneath his jacket. I mean, World Series, it gets cold, but you could tell that there's a White Sox jersey underneath that. And then, like you mentioned, the younger gentleman who was a kid at the time, he's now older, corroborated the story that him and he was friends with Pope Leo. His father was. They talk White Sox all the time. They talked about them talking sports all the time. So that's exciting. With that, we got a Southside Chicago sports bum as the Pope.
Unbelievable.
It's just wild. I wonder if he's going to keep tabs. I mean, I know he's busy now, but I wonder how closely is he still going to watch the games? Do we all need to hey Pope? Do we give a little shout out?
Peter, okay, you'll recall they swept the Astros. I mean, if memory serves, that White Sox team only lost one game in the postseason. Is that right?
Yeah, one game in the entire postseason.
Just saying.
Pitching was unbelievable, and maybe Robert Prevost had a little bit to do with it.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, tell us about Chicago Sports Bums.
So,
how you guys got started, what you guys are all about.
Yeah, so we started off as a blog a long time ago, but then COVID really ramped up our video. So we do a podcast every Monday night where we talk sports and drink whiskey. Those are our taglines. We talk Bears. We talk
Not
White
Malort,
Sox.
by the way.
But we also do tailgates once a month at the south side of Chicago in Lot B, and we call them Whiskey at Comiskey. Free food and free drinks for everyone in attendance because the long-suffering White Sox fans, we deserve something like that.
Yes.
We are the downtrodden. We are the suffering. So free food, free drinks for everybody.
And now you've got T-shirts. Is that right?
Yeah, tell us about these.
We do have
very
T-shirts.
cool T-shirts.
So you can see it on screen. I got it right here. We got the Pope Chicago T-shirt because we got to celebrate that the Pope's him being from Chicago, right? Like we want to wear it proudly. And of all the T-shirts that we have on sale from the Chicago Sports Bum, this is probably the only one that my aunt and my mom and everyone that grew up, Chicago Catholic, they're wearing.
That's a brilliant design.
Right.
How did you guys come up with it, or did you just say punch it into AI and AI generated that image for you?
No, so we do all our T-shirts ourselves between myself, my buddy Jason, Johnny, and Dougie. We all come up with ideas, whether it's White Sox, Bears, Blackhawks, and we kind of, pick and choose what we want to put out there. This one was easy. Bears colors, Pope hat, that kind of,
Jason, Johnny, and Dougie. All right, hey, let's show the design again. I want you to run us through all the elements here because I saw some more subtle things in there too. All right, there we go.
Yeah,
all right,
so
run us through here.
Obviously, Da Pope, right? We
Pope.
got Da Bears, now we got Da Pope. That was easy in of itself. Then we got the Pope hat in Bears colors, because trying to represent, the blue and the orange.
Oh no, that's the Pope hat.
Yeah, that's the Pope hat in Bears colors. Okay,
yeah.
What else?
And then we tossed in a couple of Chicago stars because everyone loves the Chicago stars. You could see it on everyone's wrist or shoulder. Everyone's got the Chicago Star tattoo. We tossed it on the T-shirt as well.
It looks great.
Sold
Peter,
out yet?
Yeah. How? Okay, so we can still get one.
Still on sale. They're selling great, by the way.
Bet.
Elizabeth is a women's small. I'm a boy's medium.
Right.
I'll send them out for sure. I'll send them out your way.
Peter, this is funny. Okay, so I've been loving seeing all the memes. I'm still loving it, and I saw one where whoever posted it, it's the Chicago flag, and I'm like, what's different about that? The caption was, "We need to update the Chicago flag." There was a fifth star. For north, side, south, it's the fifth for the Pope now.
That's
so
good.
people I love the design. Peter Fonseca, thank you so much for joining the program.
Thanks, Peter.
I will stop by your tailgate.
That
I'm
sounds
a White
so
Sox
fun.
fan as well. Get in on some of that whiskey.
Can I buy the T-shirt at the tailgating?
You can buy them online. We
Buy
won't
'em
have
online. Okay,
any at the
Give
tailgate.
us your
but you
website.
can
We
find
can
them
link
online.
to it.
So it's shysportsbums.bigcartel.com. That's where you can find all of our merch, hats, flags, anything you could find. And then, you could find us in Lot B, Whiskey at Comiskey, all summer long.
Whiskey at Comiskey, Chicago Sports Bum. Peter Fonseca, Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.
Those are selling out. Those T-shirts are going to sell out.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's so great.
Classy design.
Classic. Yeah,
Very
yeah,
classy.
yeah.
All right,
Very
10:31.
Chicago.
We are back with more Chicago Now right after this.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Happy Monday, everyone. We've got a little tiny peek outside. It looks beautiful outside, does it
yeah.
not? I've been outside. You haven't for a while.
I've been indoors for about 5 hours
It's
now.
real nice.
It was gorgeous yesterday,
Yep.
and I always appreciate good weather on a Monday.
Oh,
Takes
it
the
helps
edge
just
off
kind
of
of get you through it.
Right?
Although it's my Wednesday.
Oh, it's your Wednesday. That's right.
It's my
Your
Wednesday.
Hump day for you.
I know, it's very
you're
exciting.
Over the hump now.
You know what's also very exciting? Our next guest from Benison's Bakery, I actually spoke to this lovely lady. We haven't met her yet, Phoebe Casey with Benison. I spoke to the owner, her boss, yesterday
okay.
on Good Day with Mark Strell.
You're our Benison's beat reporter.
I am. It's not a bad beat to be on.
No.
It's not a bad beat to be on. Benison's Bakery here in Chicago. Really come out of the woodwork with the Pope cookies.
Pope cookies.
They've got Pope cookies. And Phoebe Casey, good morning to you. Thanks for being on. Appreciate it. Tell Jory I say hi. Tell him I say hello.
Well, I will. I will make sure to tell him hi.
Okay, Pope cookies. He told me yesterday there have been orders from around the country, I'm not sure world, maybe world, thousands of cookies. You've had to make thousands of Pope cookies.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. So we've been making like thousands, but we've sold around 1,200 as of the last time I checked. And I don't think we're worldwide yet, but we're definitely around the country. I don't think we're shipping across any lines there.
Any oceans. They haven't gone across the ocean. What do you think
Just a
about
matter of
all
time.
this? I mean, you're also making other stuff, right? You're just not
Yeah.
the Pope Cookie Bakery.
Oh, yes. No, we are still making all of our regular stuff. It's definitely crazy, especially because we had Mother's Day.
Oh, wow.
So we were making the Pope cookies on top of all of the, let's say, close to 100 other things that we do around Mother's Day and all those things. So
Okay,
it
so-
has been crazy.
Phoebe, we're going to get a look at the Pope cookie, but run us through the design process here. I know this all unfolded very quickly.
Very quickly.
Over about the past week. Has it been a week yet? Was
No,
it Tuesday?
not even.
Was it
Thursday.
It was Thursday. Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
I know.
Thursday. All right, so take us through when this happened. Oh, look at The detail
isn't
there.
that crazy?
Tell us what went into these.
Yeah, so I was the one who first got the phone call from Jory, our owner, who you spoke with. He called us and he was like, they've picked the new pope. He's from Chicago. Call everyone back to the bakery. We need to get these cookies out.
It's all hands on deck.
It was all hands on deck. How
yes,
long
he
did
was
it?
like, everyone needs to come back. I'm like, we've had bakers here since 3 a.m., but he's like, they need to come back now.
He's like, I don't
And
care.
we need to get started.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I need you to find an image. And he was like, I need you to stay on top of it. I need multiple options. So I started pulling all the images from the internet. I mean, it just happened. So there weren't as many as he thought, but I was looking through, I found the perfect one. We immediately started printing. Luckily, we had some plain cookies that were like ready to have the image put on.
Oh, good.
Divine
Really
intervention.
Yes, another piece of divine
And
intervention.
then we had to figure out the sprinkles. It's very important.
Very
So I was like, we got to match the outfit. We also had the colors of the papacy. So it all worked out really, really well. We had their gold sprinkles. And it was pretty immediate. We had them out probably within 2 hours of me first receiving the phone call from Jory. So it was fast.
You sold the first one that day?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I originally printed around 5 dozen images. So we sold probably around 3 dozen just that afternoon.
Just that afternoon. Within 2 hours, they had poke cookies.
Phoebe, how are customers reacting?
They are loving it. And we usually, I mean, people love the image cookies. They love cookies. Who doesn't?
Right.
But they have been coming in and buying not just like 1 or 2, they'll buy like 6 at a time or 12. I mean, we've been getting orders for like 36 or more. So people are just obsessed with the cookies. And I think it's like a Chicago pride thing as well as just like honoring the Pope. But it's like, we've got someone from Chicago in the Vatican, so how could you not love it?
And you do condone eating the whole cookie, right? Because Strel and I yesterday were a little like,
Sacrilege?
he was eating around the Pope
Yes.
a little
I
bit.
get it.
Yes.
Right?
I will
get it.
say,
I know.
eat the entire cookie. I understand some people being like, I don't want to eat the Pope, or I don't want to like eat
Right.
the head off the Pope. It just seems sacrilege. It seems wrong.
He
But
would want us
we
to eat
fully
it, wouldn't
encourage
he?
eating the
would.
entire cookie.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy that would want us to.
I bet he likes a good cookie.
Benison's, you guys have been around so long.
Yes.
Do you know, is there a chance that Robert Prevost has been through your doors? Do you know?
I have no idea, but I would love to find out. If anyone knows, reach out. I would love to know. I would love to know if he has a favorite thing, if he's been there. If he hasn't, I would love to invite him. He should come on by.
There's a bar on the north side. I don't know if you guys have ever driven past this place. It's called the Hidden Cove. They've got a very distinct marquee, and they changed the lettering, and they wrote, I guess there was a karaoke place in there, but it says, "The Pope may have sang here."
Oh,
Period.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you might as well go with that. You know,
Do
the
that.
The Pope may
Yeah,
have ordered cookies
we should
from us.
include that for sure.
How long are these cookies going to be available? This is kind of a limited time thing.
I would probably say it's maybe limited time, but I mean, as long as people want it and as long as the demand is there, then we're gonna keep making them. I mean, that's kind of the business that we're in. As long as we can please the people, we're gonna keep doing it.
Do you have any other kind of, holy divine desserts planned?
At this moment in time, we don't have anything on the menu, but you never know. If this keeps up, I mean, we'll get creative. You saw how fast we got those Pope cookies out. We can probably pull something else out of our basket.
I
love it.
Like some sort of wafer.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the commute.
Yes, like commute. Yeah.
You're evoking all kinds of Catholic imagery. I'm a non-Catholic,
Yeah.
but Phoebe, where can folks find you guys? You guys are still up on Davis in Evanston?
Yes.
Okay.
We're on 1000 Davis Street. We're right across from the Metro and the L stop, so we're really easily accessible for anyone in Chicago, even if you're not local to Evanston, really easy to get to.
And you can order online as well.
Yes, we can order online and we do shipping. We've shipped already cookies to Colorado, Arkansas,
Fantastic.
Florida, North Carolina. We've shipped all over the place. So if you want to get your cookies, even if you're not in Illinois, you can do that online.
So Vatican City,
Benison's-
listen up.
Benison's
You
just
can
a
order.
great
I know, right?
operation. I grew up in Wilmette, so we're neighbors. I
Oh,
always
yeah, close
used to
by.
go to Benison's after church growing up.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
great.
Phoebe, thank you
Thanks,
so
Phoebe.
much.
And
Very well done.
I see you got Blackhawks behind you, got Bulls. You might want to
Bulls,
put up a little White
Hawks.
Sox if you want to lure the Pope in.
I know. I will say Jory, I think, is a White Sox fan. We are
Okay.
White Sox fans in this building.
You're going to need a little extra signage just to lure them in.
I know.
Thanks,
I know.
Phoebe.
We gotta be careful there.
Yeah,
we gotta,
that's
gotta
true.
put it all up.
That's true.
Thank
Maybe
you
make
so much,
the
Phoebe.
White Sox just a little bit bigger. Just a
There
tiny.
you go. Yeah, just a touch
We
bigger.
do have White Sox cookies also in store.
There we
so-
go. There we
See?
go.
Got it all
Benison's
available.
knows exactly how to do it. All right, Phoebe, thank you so much. Great to see you. And we are back with more Chicago Now right after this.
We are back on Chicago Now. Elizabeth Matthews here, Anthony Ponce. It is your favorite time of the morning.
It is. It's because we are going to explore Reddit, the Reddits, as I say, or our Chicago, not our, although it is our, or our, like
right.
r/Chicago, the Chicago subreddit. And as always, the topics and the comments are worth diving into.
And it's a range, isn't
It's-
it?
it's
you
a
can
very-
find anything for everyone.
The folks in the subreddit were feeling very conversational over the weekend.
Okay.
And there were a couple very, I would say, astute questions, okay, that I don't know, only Chicagoans will kind of have the nuanced answer.
Understand.
Yes, exactly.
Have reactions to. Okay.
So the first topic we want to dive into is, where would you take someone that you hate in Chicago? This was inspired by a viral reel. Okay, and so some of the best responses, and these will click for longtime Chicagoans. All right, so let me run through a couple of these. Some of the best responses. Again, the question on the table here.
Where would you take someone you hate in Chicago? So they don't know anything about Chicago, and you're going to take them somewhere.
Yes.
I think one of my favorites is the first one. Lower Whacker
Drive.
Yeah. I mean, if you plopped someone down, you blindfolded them. We don't condone this. You blindfold them, you drive them somewhere, and you take. They would be terrified.
A lot goes on Lower Whacker Drive.
Not just lower.
people who are not, I mean, even seasoned Chicagoans probably know that Lower Wacker Drive exists. That's
Yeah.
I like to call it Chicago's warp zone.
Sure.
Because you get to kind of go in near Michigan Avenue, 2 seconds later you're all
turbo speed.
turbo speed, and you're all of a sudden out near the post office.
Right.
But to get to our studios, you do have to go on lower. There's a
Lower.
sub level.
A former boss, my first day, tried to explain how to get to our parking garage, which sits underneath our building.
Impossible.
I was so lost.
Impossible
that I'm
to.
pretty
I had
sure
to try
I
to
had to
explain
give
it.
somebody money to tell me where to go down
I tried to text
yonder
someone.
in the underbelly of Chicago. It was.
You can't explain it in words because there's so many twists and
And
turns.
there's
You
so
just
many,
have to
take
do it
this
by doing it.
U-turn and then go
Right.
3 feet and then take that U-turn.
Exactly. There's a
Yeah.
bunch of ramps. Anyway, I'm not
That's a
going to
good
go into
one.
detail because it's not safe for work, but there's just a lot of illicit
Yeah.
activity going on. So yes, that's a good
That's a really good one.
Lower whacker anytime. They will never find their way out, and yeah. Someone said Indiana.
That's not very nice.
Indiana. Here's a funny one. I mean, funny, sad. Not funny, haha.
Yeah.
Funny, sad.
Funny, real.
Yeah, McDonald's by Chicago State at about 10 p.m. I think that there's a decent
it's
chance,
the
there's
first
not a
one.
0% chance that this place is closed down because of the cast of characters
Yeah.
that likes to post up
Yeah.
at the McDonald's at Chicago State at 10 p.m.
Here's the thing.
Don't
As a
take anyone you love
reporter
there.
in Chicago, if I've been there numerous times, you probably don't want to go there, right? Like this
Yep.
question,
Yep.
to me, the first thing that sparks is like, well, I could give you a really good tour of where I spend my days as a reporter. You know, people go, "What's a good restaurant?" I don't know. I don't go there. I go to the bad parts. I go to where the
We
you
tend
know.
to, our job tends to take us into some of the more
And this
questionable areas of the
McDonald's
city.
is one of them. I
Indeed.
can't tell you how many reports we've done there.
They've had to go to great lengths to get
Yeah,
to
extra
get the
security
loitering
and all sorts
under
of things.
control.
Right,
So
right.
anyway, very distinctly Chicago responses. Another one is have a picnic in the transfer tunnel between the red and the blue line.
Oh.
That is right underneath. For those who have not had the pleasure, it's. I wouldn't call it a concourse. I mean, I guess it's a concourse, but it's
Technically?
Technically, it's a concourse, but it's not exactly the United Terminal
Lounge.
at O'Hare with the lounge. It's not
lounge.
exactly the Ambassador Suite. It can get pretty. You might want to revive the COVID
The masks. The masks. Or maybe the shield.
If you find yourself in the transfer tunnel between the red and blue line.
And you know, LA traffic is bad, but Chicago traffic is bad too. Foot traffic, here's a good one. Lakeshore Drive when the Air and Water Show ends. You want to be nowhere near that sucker.
Avoid it
That
at
is
all
rough.
costs.
That is
Very
rough.
good
Unless
call.
you're going and then enjoy yourself. But if you want nothing to do with said Air and Water Show, go the opposite direction. Go inland.
Go inland. Stay inland.
inland.
Or watch the. You know what Mike Kaplan always advises? Just watch the practice round.
Yeah.
On
We get to hear
earlier
it.
that. Yeah, exactly.
We get to hear it sometimes.
That's funny. Pierre and Menard's merge onto the Kennedy from Fullerton during rush hour while driving a box truck.
Ooh, yeah, good
That's
luck.
no fun.
No.
I've actually gotten in trouble for driving a U-Haul on Lakeshore Drive. Trucks are not allowed. I didn't know that until I
You've
found
never
out the
seen that
hard way.
sign before?
I think I had selective sight. You know how you have selective
Oh, yeah,
hearing
sure.
or selective memory?
Sure.
I had
Like,
selective
that's
sight.
not me.
Yeah,
not
wait.
This is just a U-Haul truck.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Oh, here's a couple. I've never experienced that. Well, obviously the DMV never disappoints. That's probably
That's
universal.
anywhere.
Anywhere.
That's not just Chicago.
That's
Yeah.
not just Chicago. But American Girl doll on December 23rd. Have you had to go there before?
No. My daughter's only 4, so
Okay.
we're almost to that stage. And I might keep American Girl doll just a secret for a couple more years if I can.
Okay.
That does
so,
sound brutal. That sounds
Elizabeth,
brutal.
do you have any thoughts on this very question? I need to pose it to you.
Okay.
Out of towner, doesn't know anything about Chicago.
Yeah.
You don't like this person. Where would you take them?
Oh, well, I think the lower whacker.
Okay,
I
we're gonna
do.
go with
I
that
think
one.
just because of where we work and it's like a movie set, but like a horror movie
Mm-hmm.
down there. So I think that's probably, or Michigan Avenue, Lala.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You're like, why am I now covered in glitter? Where did the glitter come from?
Why do I smell like patchouli? What's it called?
Patchouli, yeah.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. You know, we're on a digital channel. I would take my enemy to Wrigleyville right after a Cubs game. Cubs fans
There's
are
a lot goes
bad enough.
on.
They're bad enough on their own. You add in a Cubs win and some booze and a
Feisty.
crowd, they become even worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I
Not
take my worst
Sox,
there.
Cubs.
No, oh, Sox, you're fine. Everyone's friendly. We talked to Peter. Great folks down there. Salt
Pope.
of the earth.
Pope.
The Pope's from there. Wrigleyville after a Cubs game wouldn't wish that on anybody. So that's
okay.
that's my answer, and I'm
Maybe
gonna
especially during the
stick
Crosstown Classic.
to it. Oh yeah, that's coming up this weekend.
It's this weekend.
See, I have to take out my stress. We're not doing so well. We Sox fans are
Yeah.
not doing so well so far this season, so I have to put that out there.
Yeah. It'll get better.
Okay, so there was a head scratcher on Chicago area roadways that is kind of raising a lot of eyebrows.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get to that before we wrap things up here. But here's another question that's getting a lot of comments on our Chicago. If you could change one thing in Chicago, what would it be?
My favorite is the first one. One more mattress firm. Because that's what we need. You know, I live in the suburbs, the southwestern suburbs.
Okay.
Literally, mattress firm, and then caddy or kitty corner, depending on how you say it, another mattress firm.
It's absolutely
It's
wild.
an
I actually
epidemic.
I
It's
feel
a
like
mattress
I read
firm
up on this
epidemic.
where they only need to sell a couple in a month to pay the rent, and so it's
Have you bought
basically
one from Mattress Firm?
no. I've never bought one from Mattress Firm. I've always
have.
Okay. So I think the ROI on basically just having all that signage on busy corners pays for, you know, and if they only need to move 2 or 3 mattresses a month to cover your rent.
It's wild. It's wild. It's a good
apparently
one. That's a good one,
It's
Reddit.
apparently working for the company.
Clearly, something's working.
Okay. What else do we have here?
What else would we change about Chicago?
Change about
May
Chicago.
weather would be warm. That's always a good one.
Oh yeah.
Winter's shorter. It's not
There
really just
it
Chicago,
is.
but you know, winter's shorter.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Mayweather. Yeah, exactly. This was. I'm glad we seem to be turning the corner. I felt like yesterday, Mother's Day, was like the transition because it was cool. It was cool near the lake, but Mike says we're going up to the 80s today, and then we're going to be at 86 on Thursday.
Yeah, maybe
Is that
even
what
like
it is?
90. We
So
might be
it's gonna be-
scraping 90.
Place a mountain the size of Fuji, roughly in the location of Naperville. Ah, it's a good idea.
Pierre must be
Pierre.
a climber. But then look at what odd
Not a fan
astronaut
of
says.
Naperville. All right, if you could change one thing about Chicago, what would it be? The parking system in Chicago. This
Yeah,
would be
that's
my
pretty good,
answer too. I've never done one of those QuickBooks analysis about how much of my income is spent on parking meters. And insult to injury, to know that it's not going to the city of Chicago for its operating budget. It is. This is a tough one to swallow,
Yeah,
and we're going
it
to be
is.
swallowing it for, let's see, what year is it? It's
25.
2025. I think it goes to the year 2069.
Oof.
It's a 75 meter lease,
so
a
here's my
75 year
advice.
lease. Yeah.
Get over it. You just gotta take the
Just get
pill,
over it.
and you just gotta swallow. it.
That is the one thing that I would change, though.
It's
like,
rough.
it's not that I mind.
You ever
I
been
know that-
booted?
Knock on. Where's the wood?
Yeah,
Have
we're
you?
fine
Have you
wood.
been?
No.
Have you been booted?
I've been towed. That's where I would take my enemy to the
Speaking of
pound.
lower whacker.
That's it. Because not only you don't know where you are, you got to pay like $400 to get your car out. That's
and
the
you,
worst
and you have to
place.
brave lower
You
whacker.
can't find it. You get in a Uber or something. You're like, take me to where my car is, and they don't know where it is. No one knows where it is. That's
All
it.
right.
That's the worst place.
We are 5 minutes to 11 o'clock. We are about wrapped up. But coming up after this break, we are going to show you a street sign. It's actually almost a PSA that is raising a lot of eyebrows on Chicago area roadways, and it has to do with the CTA. We will show you that image and get your reaction to it when we come back.
back to Chicago Now. You teased this sign, this weird, I don't know, lengthy. It almost sounds like a long.
It's just really confusing. And before we go, we want to show everybody.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look at this. Okay, this is over one of the area expressways.
What?
All right. It's a blue sign on the left, hot dog, no ketchup.
Okay.
In the middle, what looks like an Italian beef dipped.
Okay.
And then on the right, it's a bus and it says 10 minutes or better. Introducing frequent network. So this just, you have to, here's the reason that this is trending this morning. It's because you just have to connect. Now that we know what it is, you have to connect a lot of dots. But you're seeing this for the first time. Did it click for you what that is?
You know what this reminds me of is that, do you remember, go back to your, I don't know, 20s, the beer that had the caps with the fun little, under the cap there were little icons and they were like little sayings or something. Do you remember this?
I do.
This is
I
what it
also
reminds
remember
me of.
sayings under the Snapple.
Yeah, little things
lid.
like that. Like, I have no idea what the CTA is trying to tell me.
Okay, so I had to
Did you?
look it up. I had no idea just by
No.
looking at that. And
And
especially if you're driving by.
It's distracting.
Yeah, you're like, wait,
what?
Wait, okay, I get the beef, no ketchup, the beef always dipped. Okay, but what's
Like
that third
good,
thing?
Is it good, better, best or something?
So this is called, yes, the CTA is launching something called the Frequent Network, and this is a response to ghost trains and ghost buses. This
Sure.
is where you'd have the tracker, but the train or bus would not show up. So this means 20 bus routes will have service every 10 minutes or less all day, 7 days a week.
Oh.
I appreciate clever advertising.
Yeah.
I really do. This one, as driving past, you have to connect a little too many dots.
Bit
But
of a stretch.
Here are the bullet points. And we're running out of time here, but by the end of 2025, the CTA is saying 70% of the city will be within a half mile of one of the high-frequency lines. It is the most reliable service we've seen in over a decade, and it is designed to help the people who depend on transit the most. So there you go.
So there's good news behind it.
Yes.
Maybe the goal is to Google it.